this video is for Cancer. Anybody who has their Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, or Mercury in Cancer, this video is for you. And this is Laura from LiveVisions.com, and thank you for watching. Okay, if you do not know where your planetary placements are, can you tell Mercury's retrograde? Okay. If you do not know where they are, go to my calculators tab on my website and fill out the birth chart calculator. Sometimes my calculator goes on the fritz and it shows up in French, or it doesn't. It shows a white screen. I don't know why. I have to get a new one. But if that happens, go to astro.com and go to their birth chart calculator and figure out where your planetary placements are to follow along in the video. Alrighty. Cancer. Well, Cancers are one of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. This is the sign that wears their feelings on their sleeve, whether you're male or female. These people, and what I do, I have a Cancer moon. So I like men who are Cancer because this is a guy that you can watch a sappy movie with, and he'll actually enjoy it with you. You know, nobody wants to watch a chick flick, but find your Cancer friend, and he will, you know, male or female, you know. But yes, they're all about home and family, and they usually love children and are very good with children. This person is extremely intuitive. You know, usually they feel everything, which could be annoying and good at the same time. Their gut feeling is usually right on things. You know. However, when it comes to their own situation, like a situation that they're in, sometimes it can become, you know, a little bit insecure, paranoid, and you know, when I want to say when Cancer is insecure or upset, sometimes they want to retreat and go into, you know, go home and stay home. Home is their refuge, okay, and be around family. That's their thing, and usually they get quiet. They don't want to talk, and this is where they can become passive-aggressive, okay? Just putting it out there, can. And hey, don't shoot the messenger. I have a Cancer moon, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay? All right. So, I mean, they can be a little passive-aggressive, you know. And I used to do this. I will admit, guilty as charged. You know, when you're in a relationship and somebody asks you, hey, you know, what's wrong? And you're like, you know, they freaking should know what's wrong. Like, do I have to explain it to them? But Cancer is thinking that. But in turn, they go, I don't know. Why? Does it seem like something's wrong? Why should I be mad? And it's very passive-aggressive, you know. So your partner is like, well, okay, if you say nothing's wrong, then nothing's wrong. And then 4 days later, you're stewing, and then your partner says, you know, something to you, and you're like, well, remember 4 days ago what you said and did, and da-da-da-da, you know, and they're like, wait a minute, I asked you what was wrong, and you're like, is something wrong? Should there be something wrong? You know, so they're all confused. And Cancer, I will say, because you're very intuitive and you know at a gut level certain things are bothering you, doesn't mean that the other person is in tune with you at all times. So, yeah, you have to spell it out, okay? And for a person dating somebody that's a Cancer, the best thing to do is not play into it. Like, sometimes these people will, like, avoid your phone call. Like, you could call and call and call, and they're not taking the call, and they're like, and they're thinking to themselves, the Cancer person is thinking, well, let's see how many times they'll call and see if they really care. And the other person's like, well, what do I need to do, you know? And the best thing to do is just call once. And then Cancer person will be so upset that you only called once, they'll call you. You know? And I'm sorry, Cancers, I have a Cancer moon, so I know what I'm talking about. And you do too. Maybe you don't want to admit it, but it's so true. So anyway, yeah, they can be that way, and I've been, as my younger years, guilty as charged that way. But they're the most sensitive people, though, and they're the most giving people. And I want to say they can be very devoted, very loving. They can be nurturing and caring. And this is somebody who's real. Like, if you're a sensitive person, this is really somebody who could really be great for being able to talk about your emotions and how you feel. Because cancers feel all the time, that's their thing, and it's hard for them because sometimes they're feeling all the time. They don't want to be hurt, it's like a defense mechanism sometimes. That's why they avoid, well, this person doesn't know why they upset me. They should kind of know, and sometimes that other person doesn't know. Or if you feel like you have to spell it out to them, maybe the best way to do is handle it a different way. Just spell it out to them and be direct and see if they dare do it again, and see if they do it again, whatever it is that upsets you, But, and sometimes cancer, they don't want to be hurt, so they'll try to avoid, they'll do the avoidance thing because they do not want to be hurt. But this is the type of person, male or female, or especially women, if you go to their home and they want to treat you like family, like they've known you forever. Oh, sit down. Oh, let me make something for you. Oh, I just baked a cake. Do you want a piece of cake? Or are you feeling okay? Or if, let's say, you're not feeling well and it's an uncomfortable situation, they make you feel like you're at home. Oh, I have a little something for that upset stomach. It's just, they're so warm and welcoming and inviting is what I'm trying to get at. And they go out of their way to be nurturing to other people. And which is why a lot of people who have cancer in their earned income sector of their chart, their second house, or if it's ruled by cancer or they have the moon there, a lot of these people can be nurses or caretakers, because they are so nurturing and caring of other people. And, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Cancer moon, okay? The Cancer, oops, I didn't do that right. Okay, the Cancer moon people, usually this is the child that needed a lot of nurturing as a little kid. And just so you know, whether you're a Cancer sun or moon or Cancer sign in general, usually they're the children who need a lot of nurturing as children and a lot of attention from mom. Usually they're very connected to mother. And it's because you're going to grow up to be a nurturing person, depending on especially ascendant Cancer, sun, Cancer, moon in Cancer. So you need that nurturing from mom more than other people because this is kind of what your thing is in life, is nurturing. So people who have their moon in Cancer especially, oh my gosh, you need a lot of attention from your mom. You need, I will say you could have been connected to the hip with mom at an early age, in a little infant toddler age. And mom also, moon describes your mother too. Mother could have been very nurturing, very caring, very doting to the children, very much connected to, her children, very much. And so, you have this natural inclination to nurture people, good or bad. And I'll say it's good or bad because I have my moon in Cancer as well. And sometimes you could nurture someone and they can take your kindness for weakness, and, they don't need nurturing. They need a hasta la vista, baby. Yeah. So you need to make sure you're nurturing the right person, because they kind of want to mother everybody, Oh, and this includes animals. So if you have your moon in Cancer, especially if you have like Jupiter in the 6th house and stuff too, but I will say, like, especially if you have your moon in Cancer, you could be the type of person, oh my God, I saw this little puppy and it was outside and it didn't have a mommy, and you didn't, lo and behold, this is the type of person to take that animal in the house, take it to the vet, get it all taken care of, and, and make it a little family member. But yeah, they want to nurture everything and everybody, So, and here's the thing, this is a good thing because, sometimes people need help or animals need help, and children need nurturing, and it's good to nurture your partner, especially if you're getting that back. But it's in a way a bad thing, especially if you're trying to nurture somebody and care for somebody who doesn't want to care for themselves, and in turn, it's a burden to you. Meaning a partner who's trying to lean and not lift. Do the equal balance of things, And Cancers feel so deeply. This is also a psychic indicator of somebody who is highly intuitive, feels everything, And this is somebody who can just walk into a room or just meet somebody and they just kind of know what that person's feeling, And so, this is a very, very intuitive moon, okay, just so you know. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about men. Men who have their moon in Cancer, this talks about the future wife. The future wife could be very caring, very nurturing, very loving, very mothering type of person, all of that I've described already. And she could also, she could be like, I call them the Betty Crockers of the Zodiac. They're the ones, they want to take you in, make you feel at home, and you know what I mean? So this is the type of woman that man is looking for. So ladies, if you see a guy whose moon is in Cancer, he's ultimately going to marry the Betty Crocker woman. Someone who's all about the home and family and children, and that's kind of what and you have to look at the house it's in too, just for more information. Okay. So if you have your Cancer in Mercury, if I can spell, okay. So if you have your Cancer in Mercury, the way you communicate is very sensitive to other people. These people really, some people stuff just flies off their tongue. The minute it goes into their head, it just flies off their tongue, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they just said that. This is not Cancer and Mercury. Cancer and Mercury people really are intuitive as to how another person's feeling, and they're very aware of what they say as to not hurt another person's feelings. And they're very aware of being sensitive in their communication. This is the person, if you ask them, and let's say you have a biggest butt in the world, and it's moon over Miami, okay, and you say, does this dress make my butt look big? And let's say the dress is 2 sizes too small. Okay, I'm just giving this example. They're the type to say, no, you look fine, but maybe the black one maybe look better, or the other one look better. They don't want to really say and they'll hurt your feelings. They're very tactful in the things that they say. And they're even nurturing in their words, like, if let's say you're talking to somebody with Mercury and Cancer and you've been cheated on, and you call your friend, and, and your friend has Mercury and Cancer, they're going to say, oh, well, you're going to find somebody else, and this is going to get better for you, and don't worry. And, this person is going to nurture you. Is going to tell you it's going to be okay, and don't worry, and things will get better, and, do you want me to come over? That's just the type of person, so caring, so loving, so nurturing. And these people can get hurt easy, though, because remember I talked about the type of person where when it goes into their head, it comes out their tongue, and you're like, oh, my God, I cannot believe this person just said that. Well, those type of people can really hurt this type of person, because this type of person is hyper aware of what they say and how it affects another. Whereas somebody who's not as hyper aware of what they say and could care less, and they're just like, well, the truth is the truth, and every time they open their mouth, like an atomic bomb comes out sometimes, that can really hurt someone like this, because they're like, I can't believe that person said that, it's so hurtful, and they're really devastated by sometimes somebody's words. So somebody with this sensitive sign in Mercury might be better off dating someone who who also had a water sign, like a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio Mercury too, or, a Mercury that's not so harsh, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, I'm trying to think of, I want to say water. Water's not so bad for these people, but it also, you have to look at the chart, but I'm just saying. Alrighty, so let's now look at Mars. So if you have your Mars in Cancer, these people's energy is a bit reserved, a bit shy. If you are a woman and you have your Mars in Cancer, Mars describes the type of person that you're attracted to. So if you have your Mars in Cancer, this is going to be the shy guy. This guy's not going to approach you maybe, This guy's going to be maybe too scared to say anything to you, or he's, not scared, but, apprehensive to approach you. And this person could be very sensitive, nurturing, loving, very hypersensitive, very, very aware and energetically of other people's feelings, This person's energy is very sensitive, okay? So this isn't really like the cheater kind of energy either. So she's looking for a person who's all about the home and family. She's looking for the guy who's nurturing, who's sensitive, who my video is done. I downloaded a video, so okay. So who's caring and nurturing and sweet, and is all about his home and family. That's the kind of guy she's looking for, okay? And, you know, male or female, if you have your Mars in Cancer, you're sensitive and you're shy and you're reserved and you kind of are apprehensive maybe about, you know, whatever it is. You know, some people are like, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do it. And Mars in Cancer is like, I don't know. You know, maybe not. You know, I'm not sure. You kind of need coaxing along a little bit sometimes, you know, to do things. It's like, come on, let's go. It could, because Mars in Cancer is very apprehensive sign, you know. But if you're a man and you have your Mars in Cancer, you're going to be really shy and very reserved. You're not going to be the guy who's going to like, yeah, hey, want to date me? You're not Mr. Confident. You know, you're not Mr. Conceited. You're not Mr. Arrogant. You're just kind of like, oh, I hope she notices me kind of guy. And you're all about your home and family. You can be very reserved, and a lot of times this aspect would be shy, whether you're male or female. And just so you know, ladies, Mars shows you the type of man you attract. And you know how a lot of astrologers say, well, a lot of people that you date are like a mirror back to you, you know, and that is because what you're attracted to is Mars, but Mars is also your own energy. So what you put out, you're also getting back, okay? So you can come off shy and reserved and things like this. So if you're really shy and kind of reserved in your energy, maybe a guy might say, oh, I kind of like her. She's a lot like me. I'm not as intimidated with her. You know what I mean? So this could work for you, you know. Well, it's going to work for you because that's, you know, that's your chart. So, alrighty. So that's if you have your Mars in Cancer. So let's talk now about Venus. All right. So if you have your Venus, Cancer Venus, so you're going to, if you're a man, you're going to be attracted to the Betty Crocker woman. You know, you're going to be attracted to the person who's all about the home and family, who's always making people feel comfortable and nurtured, and you're attracted to the woman who's maybe about children, you know, somebody who's a bit shy, maybe a bit reserved. This is not going to be the boisterous female who's like, hello, here I am, let's party. That's not that girl. That is the last girl you want. If you have a Cancer Venus, you're attracted to, you know, just somebody who's real sweet and somebody who's a bit shy, somebody who's reserved, but you can tell they're all about their home and family, they're about their children. They're good homemakers probably, and I will say they may not be very, you know, outgoing and in-your-face kind of a girl, like, hey, look at me, you know, they're not like that, okay? Now, if you're a woman and you have your Venus in Cancer, you're going to show that you're reserved. You're going to show that you're a bit shy. You're going to show that you're all about your home and family. You're, you know, you may be all about your kids. You may be, you know, doing things in the home, like cooking, cleaning, or taking care of the toddlers, or you know, fixing something in the house, or, you know, this is just, you show this homebody energy that you have. You know, you're going to show that your home is important to you. Now, those of you who do have your Venus in Cancer, you know, above anything, you're going to show a nurturing side in yourself, just so you know. And the way you're going to bring in money, I will say, is you can make money through children, taking care of others, being a caretaker, nursing, interior design, food, petroleum historians, and naval and marine as well. Okay? These are the ways in which you can bring in money into your life. All right? Or even working from home. That can be it too. All right? Well, I hope this video was helpful to you and a little fun. I hope if you guys have questions, please put them below. I hope you like, share, and subscribe to the video. Please share them. It helps other people. And if you want a reading with me or a relationship advisor session, I will put a link in the video. All right? I will talk to you guys soon, and take care.